Istanbul Airport Tower, runway 34 right. Cleared for takeoff.
Fashion.
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 Fashion. Fashion. Fashion.
Fashion is a language to me.
Hello everyone from Istanbul Airport, the intersection of continents and fashion. I'm Derya Taşbaşı. The fabrics we wear, the colors and stitches we choose, they are all like silent signs that actually tell who we are. But how do we define this multi-billion-dollar massive industry, this universal passion inside us? In this 6-episode documentary series, we will go behind the scenes of fashion's colorful and mysterious world. The industry's most powerful designers, master photographers, brand strategists, and industry leaders will accompany us on this journey from their own perspective. But before all of this, we are going back to the very beginning of the story, to the foundation of the work. In this first episode of our series, we look for the soul of fashion. Truly, what is this thing we call fashion anyway?
Fashion is a way of self-expression in the most creative way and in the most silent way. Without having exchanged any words with the person across to you, you actually tell them who you are with the accessory selection, with the shoes, with the pants, with the fit, with the color selection. It's an exchange without words.
I think fashion is more than just clothing. It's about lifestyle, it's about identity, culture. It's about the society that we live in, the soul of the time.
Fashion is a language to me. It's a language to define yourself and your aesthetic understanding.
Fashion is certainly not a one thing. It is a living memory. It is embracing one's culture.
Fashion always feeds on the history and culture of the geography in which it was born. In a region at the center of the Silk Road like Anatolia, the evolution of clothing is also quite magnificent. Let's take a closer look at this deep historical heritage, extending from the layered and heavy coats of Ottoman palaces that indicated status to the modernizing and liberating silhouettes of the Republic.
We have thousands of stories from Ottoman Empire, from Byzantine. Look at Istanbul, it's contradiction. All the cultures, all the religions, motifs and everything are just here with us. So this gives our designers a great creativity and ideas.
For instance, in my last collection, that has an inspiration driven from the Ottoman Empire, we used this tulip shape. We took the tulip shape and we transformed it into little cocktail dresses.
Anatolia is a magical and very rich country about culture, about textile, about art, and about very different nationalities lives together. And The Silk Road left us not only a tremendous textile heritage, but also cultural interaction and a very special hospitality.
In our historical journey, certain names stand out and shape the fashion not only of their own era, but of all time. Style icons who broke the rules, shook taboos and dragged crowds after them. What was the common secret of these unforgettable names that come to mind when we say icon in the fashion world?
My favorite style icon of all time is Jackie Kennedy Onassis. I just love her style. She had immense knowledge about fashion, about fabric, about cuts. And even right now, probably after 50 to 60 years, it is still timeless.
Think about Michael Jackson, you know. We've always seen accessories, clothing, details, socks, shoes. They all well together. You recognize his voice, you recognize the silhouette, you recognize the hat and the white socks. I mean, they're in fashion now.
I've always been a great admirer of Chanel. What she has done for women's fashion is evolutionary. She made women's lives so much easier. She got rid of all the excess embellishment and just brought it a very cool, very minimal yet interesting and very elite approach, very aristocratic.
It is not only people who become iconic. Sometimes it is a single design, a single dress. An ordinary piece of fabric hanging on a rack goes down in history when integrated with a story. What is a real power that makes an outfit immortal?
To create an icon, it needs to have a storytelling behind. Marilyn Monroe, so it's, of course the dress was a statement over there, but the message behind and all that goes around that makes that dress and that situation iconic. So I think in order to become icon in any way, you have to have a very strong background to support the storytelling that comes afterwards.
Princess Diana's black dress was a big scandal because she totally broke the rules of the royal family. She got out from her car earlier than stop point because she wanted to show all the paparazzi to her dress. I am here with my forbidden dress. This is what I am. This is what I want to do. And this is my dress. This is the Diana.
Every outfit draws inspiration from the social structure, revolutions, and even the music of the era it belongs to. The elegance of the 60s, the powerful assertiveness of the 80s, or the effortless simplicity of the 90s. What is hidden in the soul of those unforgettable eras that still shape today's fashion, even through years have passed?
Fashion always needs of a people and also with the needs of era. The first change started in 80s and 90s with those ages of a pop culture and street cultures, and that's from Madonna to like Michael Jackson and other things.
70s is my favorite era in terms of music, in terms of fashion, the disco era, the sparkles, I mean everything. I love everything about the 70s. I mean I wish I lived in the 70s.
As a fashion photographer, the beginning of 2000 was very magical. We are still thinking analog, but all these famous photographers like Peter Lindbergh and Terry Chisholm and Steve Meisel, they crashed on that time, beginning of 2000, and they all lived their best moments in the beginning of 2000.
While talking about different eras, styles and unique designs, it is impossible not to mention this city we are passing through. Istanbul, where Asia and Europe meet, multicultural, a bit chaotic, but full of surprises around every corner. How that this unique capital of contrasts reflects the soul of fashion? And if Istanbul were a woman or a man, how would they dress?
Wouldn't be like perfectly polished and overly like predictable. I think like it would be like mix of contrast, like Istanbul itself. Because like, you know, maybe in the morning you would see like more architectural and more minimalistic, but in the night it's more cinematic, more dramatic. I would imagine a silk silhouette dress on the top with a sharp tailoring jacket and antique jewelry from different eras.
If Istanbul is a woman, it can totally dress like a modern kaftan because it's very elegant, very traditional. Istanbul covers everything just like a kaftan, but it has a huge attitude and stature.
It should definitely be something very hybrid, colorful, and also a bit mysterious. Definitely like a little bolero made out of heavy sequins and many colors, maybe a lot of, you know, a traditional motif. But then under you would have the essence of the West, you know, something that is very modern, you know, very contrast, like cargo pants or jeans.
We have made a unique journey extending from the philosophy of fashion to our historical roots, from designs that became iconic to eras etched into our memories and to that mysterious wardrobe of Istanbul. The soul carried by a garment gains meaning through how we weave and color it. In our next episode, we will step into the magical world of those silent words on fabrics, namely patterns. See you in the second episode.